This is the SEGA Genesis Mini, also known as the SEGA Mega Drive. SEGA really knocked it out of the park here. I mean, Nintendo did a good job with their mini consoles, so of course SEGA had to come along and compete and do a great job as well. If you think about the console wars in the 80s and 90s between SEGA and Nintendo, it's hilarious that the mini consoles kind of had that going as well a little bit. This is a replica of the original SEGA Genesis. There's actually a Model 2 that came out in the 90s, which they also made a mini console for very recently. So I'll compare those in this video as well so you know the differences. In the box you get the console itself. This even has the 16-bit logo on it, and it says high definition graphics. And it even has a slot where you can put a game in, although it doesn't really do anything, it's just for looks, but it's pretty hilarious. They have the same switches as the original SEGA Genesis console had. The power switch works, but the volume button's just for looks as well. It's just to replicate the mini console, which is super cool. And keep in mind that if you put RetroArch on this to put your own games on the system, the reset button will actually open up the RetroArch menu unless you change it. There's a fake headphone jack as well, but the USB controller ports are very real. And you get two 3-button controllers. Now, I'm a huge advocate for the 6-button controllers, but if you're just going to leave this console how it is, you don't need the 6-button. The 3 buttons will work just fine. Especially if you grew up and got nostalgia with the 3-button controllers, then go for it. But if you're playing Street Fighter 2 with a 3-button controller, you're at a huge disadvantage. I'd highly recommend installing RetroArch on your system and using a 6-button controller. I have a video guide on my channel on how to set up a 6-button controller with RetroArch. SEGA also made the mistake with the 3-button controllers of making the wires too short, so you might not be able to reach your couch. You might have to get extenders if you're using those. The power cable is micro USB, but I have to tell you, if you want to put your own games on here and mod it, then you'll have to use the power cable that came with the original Nintendo Mini or the Super Nintendo Mini, or another data cable, because this won't work. You get a HDMI cable. Now if you're a collector, you remember these black and white instruction manuals you get for old consoles like Atari and stuff, so you get one for the SEGA Genesis Mini and it looks really retro. I totally forgot I had this Atari Power Without the Price pamphlet. I had to show you guys, it's so funny. Now if you've been watching my channel, you know I'm an artistic person. I designed a marquee on my arcade machine and I make GoldenEye art and stuff like that. So I do like the box art and how it actually displays, because collectors like that stuff. And this just looks incredible. It's got the nostalgic SEGA Genesis feel, and there's just something about the SEGA Genesis mini console artwork that I love. It's so nostalgic, it's so cool looking. This is the 30th anniversary for the console. And I love that it just says join the 16-bit revolution on it. It's just so cool. And Sonic the Hedgehog is on most sides of the box. And the back of the box has all the games that are included. The console includes 40 games plus 2 bonus titles. And I'm going to put the games on the screen so you can compare it to the SEGA Genesis Mini 2 console. And as you can see, when you put the two lists next to each other, the difference is significant. Now, you might lean towards the Mini 1 console if you like those games specifically and you like the look of the Mini console, but the Mini 2 has a lot more games, Sega CD games, it has other features such as sprite scaling, but it's worth noting that apparently the Mini 2 has a really bad 6-button controller, so you may have to buy a retro-bit 6-button controller to go with it. But both of these mini consoles have their own unique features and games, so you just might want to look into it and make sure you got the right one for you. Now this SEGA Genesis Mini has been sold out, so the price on Amazon's a lot higher, but the Model 2 is still available and is much cheaper. So if you do a comparison of both of these and decide which one you want, just keep in mind that the price difference is significant right now, unless you plan on finding it on eBay or locally or on Facebook Marketplace for a good price. I have all the items I'm talking about listed down in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. So let's plug it in and see what the menu system's like and how it plays. This is the front box cover art for all the games. You can choose to see the side of the boxes too if you want, but I just prefer this view. Now under the settings, there's a lot of language options. And under screen setting, you can make it widescreen if you want, but I keep it on the original ratio. You can also choose a CRT filter if you like. You can put a wallpaper behind the games as well, but I just keep mine on black. Now you can sort the games different ways on the main menu, but I want you to hear the music, it's just awesome. And what can I say about the gameplay? I used to rent Streets of Rage from the video store when I was little. It was just so fun playing these. Whether you choose the Mini 1 or Mini 2, you're gonna have fun regardless. I mean, it's the SEGA Genesis. It just has so many iconic classic games. It was so fun to play. You also have multiple options for save states in every game as well. I want to know, what's your favorite SEGA Genesis games? Please let me know down in the comments, because this is really close to my heart, trust me. If you feel like this video is giving you value, please share it and hit the like button, and consider subscribing and joining the channel so you don't miss any content from us. Just make sure to turn on notifications as well. And I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who subscribed so far. I love hearing your feedback and different points of view about all this stuff. Please let me know down in the comments if there's something you don't like about this or there's something you love about this. I want to hear about it. Now, if you're someone who wants to mod these consoles and put on games like Mortal Kombat or something like that, check out my video on how to set up a 6-button controller for Player 1 and Player 2. Thanks again and take care.